Okay, here we go. We're getting started. Audio sounds good. I had to make sure I'm wearing a different hoodie this week than last week so it doesn't look like I wear the same clothes every day. Got that on lockdown. Ladies and germs, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the stream. Let's take a look here. I don't have good news. I don't have good news. I wish I had good news. I wish I had good news every day. I think people expect a constant stream of news. The cycle is not over, I'll give you that. I don't think it's over. Definitely not. I will point to 2017 when I don't know how many of you in the chat were here in 2017, but what's up, Jake? What's up, Karen and everybody else? Joey? I'll point to 2017 when several times in 2017 we had this exact setup and scenario. We reset and win again. The difference is going to be whether or not we can survive 80 if we go that low, right? I'll say this before anybody in the comments lets me know. This is a separate Kraken account that I use for stream. That's why it has $700 in it. But I did want to illustrate the take profit stop loss stuff that Kraken implemented because I think it's something a lot of people ask me about. Phil Anthony, groceries would be cheaper, not coins. Am I in all cash here? I'm not in all cash here. When people say it's over, it's never. I mean, alts are difficult here for sure. We're seeing it again, right? There's something that gets launched, Barra chain, XYZ chain, XYZ coin. There's an X amount of capital fixed in the ecosystem. If you want to participate in non-BTC stuff, everything gets dragged. So yeah, just keep launching stuff, guys. It's going to be super helpful for sure. Great idea. I don't think 333K by July is canceled. It's definitely going to be challenging. Definitely going to be challenging. But again, I'll point to 2017. Like, there's a reason I did a video on it this week. We can look at this. 2017 wasn't exactly fun, happy times. I'll talk about the cash stuff in a second, Danny. 2017 wasn't happy, fun times in the early innings of 2017 either. 2017, the beginning, like everybody remembers Q4, but out of the gate, 2017 was not it at all. And on the daily, we had the exact same setup as we do now. That's why this cloud stuff never changes. It's always the same. It's okay if, I mean, this wasn't really tradable either as far as like a setup like it is now. 2017 here, we found support at the cloud. Great. Okay, so that's something to watch for coming up here. We also had over and over and over again in 2017 hidden bullish divergence over and over and over again. We had lower moves on the RSI with a higher low each time. So that's what you're looking for here on the way down. Absolutely. Nothing changes. It's always the same. The moment we close below the daily, then we start to get into some interesting territory. Then I'm a lot less confident about anything. But here I'm fairly confident that if we break down, we are headed to some attempt, whether it's a millisecond, a picosecond, 2 days, whatever it is, some attempt at reaching for the bottom of the cloud. 84, 83, there's a yearly pivot at 80. The 200-week moving average is at 86. I mean, there's all sorts of levels down there. You've got people saying that this is a double top. I'm not going to disagree. I don't care what the pattern necessarily is, but measuring the range lower, you get 80 to 85. Okay. I mean, It is divorced from emotions. It is divorced from news. It is divorced from expectations. This is what technicals are. They're just looking at price. What do you see now? What can you compare it to what you've seen before? That's it. That's all it is. We do have a jobs report tomorrow, which may help things. If we get a daily, the if this then that decision tree paradigm is if we get a close in the daily cloud with a bearish TK cross, then I get bearish as in edge to edge through the cloud. And this is not unlike most of the things we've seen over the past 2 years. Here's a great example here. Go watch the videos, tweets, whatever back then, see what I was saying about that. You can see what I was saying here. We got a close in the cloud, but we did not have a bearish TK cross. That's the difference. And it's an important distinction because if you backtest these, you'll notice on any time frame, any asset, to have the cross is permission to be bearish. So without that cross, it's much more difficult to push through the cloud. You had an example here where we bounced on the cloud. This was the SVB blow up where we bounced on the cloud. If we look at, not cycle wise, but this is what it feels like to me here is the top in 2021 where we were stuck in this range. People were talking about, I mean, I know I was talking about some sort of rising wedge here, but we were stuck in this range. We attempted to break down in the cloud, pulled back up, went sideways, and then that was it. That was it. So why did I sell here in 2021? Because that's what the cloud told me to do. I don't know if they have, I can't go back in time on this, but this exact issue is where we look to be sitting on top of potentially. I got to be careful with what I say because people on Twitter, every month I look at the comments for everything because I give the data to Kraken as far as what the views are and whatever. It's funny to go back and people telling me like, you know, I'm a fade when I'm bearish alts, that's time to buy. All right, whatever. I don't care. Just reading chat here. But anyway, so this is where we're set up for on the daily. So if you're in your hodl stack, I don't think there's anything to do. Who cares? Let it go to 80. I don't care. Long term, I know where this is going. I'm not worried about it. But in your trading stack, in your active stack, I can't tell anybody what to do, but this is the technicals I'm concerned about on the daily. That's all. And it may not trigger. We'll see. It certainly feels like it's going to trigger in the next day or two, maybe today. I don't know. To bounce like we did, this is the difference. This is what we always want to see on a bounce. We always want to see the next day to close above the wick of the day before. What did we get the day after this bounce? A red candle, almost bearish engulfing. What did we get the 2 days following? More red candles. That's not what you want to see. So if we were at 100 or higher, I'd be saying, look, we're in the middle of the range, we're fine, no big deal. But when we're down here and when alts look like they do, I don't know, not where you want to be after. This is after a move, by the way. This is after a move, that a 62% move still sitting here from October. So that's the problem. What's up, Dave? Mike? That's the problem. So I don't like leverage here. I don't like miners here. I don't like alts here. What else don't I like here? BTC spot, I could care less. As far as cash, NFA, not financial advice, but one way to do this would be the dollar cost average, anything in the cloud. You could just do this weekly, you could do this daily, I don't know, whatever makes sense for whoever's doing it, but you could either do that, you could say, I'm gonna have a resting bid down here. We could turn on the pivots. We can turn on the 20-week moving average, that's the 140 on the daily. We can say there's a level here, there's a level here, down here, so maybe I'm gonna have some bids. You never know, right? You just never know. We've already had some pretty crazy wicks to the downside. You never know what people are going to try to pull on the weekends when there's lower liquidity. I think the 200-day should be about to 80 by the time if we drop. But that's another level if you're just looking for levels. So that's how I would handle it from a bids perspective. Yeah, maybe you take 25 to 50% of the stack and put it in bids down here. Maybe you just continue to DCA with the other half of it. And then if you're wrong above 100, 102, you start to get back in, right? That's one way to handle this. Am I in all cash? No, not in all cash. I actually on on the ETH side, I'm still holding ETH. Let me just pull it up. ETH A. I'm holding ETH A probably from a disgustingly high level. Probably from 27. I just forgot about it. Honestly, I just forgot about it. It's demolished the position at this point. But so I got that. I've got SGov on the legacy side. I've got a list of some other stuff in the Discord, but I'm not in all cash. On the BTC side, yeah, I've definitely got some cash. The other thing is we've got tax season coming up here. So when I owed taxes and I had alts, what did I sell first to pay those taxes? I sold alts. What would anybody else do? I'd imagine they'd do probably the same. You know, are they gonna maybe hold on to the top 5? Probably, sure, but anything past that, I'd imagine people would be more willing to part with to pay taxes. I could be wrong. You can let me know. You can let me know. So I don't hate dollar cost averaging BTC at all. No issue with that. I like levels lower. This is bullish again above 101, 102. It just does not look like it wants to hold these levels. And this is in the face of, by the way, in the face of S&P. Like if we looked at it like this on BTC, I wouldn't need to be bearish at all. This looks great. No, it doesn't look like ready for bullish continuation at this very moment, but it stayed out of the cloud. But this is what you want to see, right? I don't know if this goes anywhere, but it's not bearish. Qs, same deal. Stayed out of the cloud, back in near the top of the range. Great. Dollar breaking down. This probably plays out as a head and shoulders. If there's anything that can save us on the BTC side, I think alts are just cooked. I don't know what can save alts at this point, but on the BTC side, what could save us is this playing out as a head and shoulders. A bearish breakdown of the dollar. Same idea, 105. Like if this pushes the 105, we should be okay on the BTC side. The issue is the timing. If the dollar doesn't break down quick enough, we probably don't have that safety net for BTC quick enough. So it's going to be very like there's a world where we could get a wick on the daily from 84 to 90. Like why not on a weekend based on what we've seen? Sure. Why not? I do have a Discord. It's not public. We were having issues with being rated and stuff, so it's just closed for now. It's just too much to handle. I tried. I've got private invitations and stuff, but it's just too much to deal with. Where was I? Dollar. If the dollar breaks down, we should be fine. Another great sign that things are eventually going to turn up for us on the Bitcoin side would be gold making new all-time highs. Gold usually leads BTC. Global liquidity, we'll take a look. What is it today? In the yellow, it's flat-ish. It stopped going down at least. That's because the dollar reversed a bunch. What's up, Fed? Am I worried about a recession? I'm not worried about a recession. Personally, I don't think this administration would just let a recession happen. That could be silly to think that, but I think if things get bad, if liquidity gets bad, they're going to turn on the printers. If the reverse repo drains, the banks start, right? Like if anything goes wrong, if there was ever an administration that would step in and do something, it's probably going to be this one. That's my thoughts. So it's not like we can't have recessions ever again. I just don't think DJT is going to sit there and take it, you know? But it's a tale of two worlds because you've got the S&P, like I was saying, it looks fine. No issues whatsoever. What's wrong with this chart, right? What's wrong with this chart? Zero. Zilch. Nothing. Now, is it super exciting? No, but it's fine. It's fine, right? That's not the issue. This is the issue. So, is the cloud no longer lava? Potentially. Potentially. Crispy, M2 should be going up. That's what we're seeing on the global liquidity. Global liquidity, the indicator, should include M2. This yellow line, it includes TGA, reverse repo. I can pull up, is it just M2? M2SL, what do we got? M2SL, yeah, fine, like it's rising. The bigger indicator is year over year, which is also rising. I don't think that's a question whatsoever. The issue is we need help today on the BTC side, like yesterday, as far as price. Is that right? Oh, it's because it's on the monthly. Let's do this. M2 new price scale. Move this to the left. Oh boy, what'd I do? Get rid of that. Trying to see the money supply on the daily. Anyway, the point is, yes, absolutely, money is rising, bullish for BTC. That's not a question. The question is when. When will that take effect? Is it leading? Is it lagging? That's the issue. That's the problem. That's why long term, love BTC, love hard assets. Today, tomorrow, this week, it's going to be tough. 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 The 10-year is also, so dollar, 10-year, and oil are the three things we need to not go to infinity. 10-year, to me, looks about as bearish as the dollar does. Great, that's what we want to see. Oil, I have on here somewhere. Does that look bullish to you on oil? I mean, look at that Eiffel Tower on oil. Oil's almost back to 70. So the backdrop should be bullish for BTC. It should be. It should help soften the blow lower here. Absolutely. It's just on a day-to-day basis. I don't know. I don't know. So I want to be bullish in the face of everything else. I agree. But this chart is this chart. In a vacuum, Oh boy. Oh boy. Just got to be careful. Got to be careful. So that's why I like DCA. I don't like leverage, et cetera, et cetera. And then alts, we can talk about any alt anybody wants to talk about. But man, alts do not look good. Alts do not look good at all. And that's the other issue. If BTC breaks down, are alts going to look better? I don't think so. I don't think so. ETH. Like, look, it could be the bottom, but any chart I've ever seen that looks like this hasn't been the bottom. That's all I'm saying. I mean, this wick, I said this on the Wednesday video, just because we wiped out so much open interest, a 25% wick, it's going to be tough to push us down quickly, for sure, on stuff that looks like this. But this is not, the default litmus test position here is not, oh, this is so bullish because we wiped everything out. I mean, look how long it took to bottom. It took months to bottom the last time this happened in August 24. How many days was this? That was 90 days. Look, if you want to sit and ETH for 90 days, go for it. I don't care. But it's not screaming buy to me. Alts have looked good to me, Gosp. That's not true. That is a flat out lie. Go and look on what I said on Sol. I took these trades. I know I was there. Go and see what I was saying on Sol at 26. Go back to October 23. There are times to be bullish. It's just, what is this? What is this? Look at this chart. It's awful. It's just chop. It's range. It's nothing. So maybe if you're a certain kind of trader that I am not, and you're in beast mode and you're a superhero, you can trade this well. It's just not, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's not it. It does not look good. Now it could literally just stay flat, ranging from 150 to 200 for the entirety of the year. I have no idea. But taking a trade here today on a chart that looks like this, to me, is a low success rate. That could be wrong. It could bounce to 6,000 tomorrow, but oh boy. Not what you want to see after breaking out like that. Just giving it all back again, hitting an all-time high and just immediately selling off. Immediately. Not great. I'm not going to disagree with Trader on X. He's saying Trump single-handedly killing price action in crypto. It didn't help to launch that, and it doesn't help that Barra Chain is launching today and whatever else is launching. There's just no liquidity. You're seeing it get sucked out of everything else, right? Here's Sui. Below the cloud, broke the range. Not what you want to see. It lost the Kijun. It had a bearish TK cross. And then it went through the cloud. And now down here it is. And this is one of the better looking charts over the past year. The only other chart that I looked at this week would be Monero. The problem with Monero is it's never bullish enough in a bull market. It might act as oddly act as a safe haven in a bear market, but it never really goes anywhere in a bull market. That's the problem, at least reliably. That's the issue. Sui probably has an unlock. Sol certainly has a bunch of unlocks coming. What happens to the market if when a deal doesn't instantly resolve tariff concerns? Yeah, I agree. That's the other thing, MK. Like, we've got headline risk on the China side. It's just we're still in this uncertainty period for me that is very, very difficult. Lido's not going to do well if ETH isn't doing well. Now, Lido looks better than ETH. Absolutely, right? For sure. But a lot of this stuff comes down to, like, how long do you want to sit in this Where are you willing to be wrong? Lido's gone nowhere since launch, basically, right? There may be a day eventually when this does better, but it's been in a massive range since it got listed. Yeah, Crispy. So Bank of England lowered their rates yesterday. We can afford to stay hawkish for longer, but you know this unemployment rate number. If we go to what is it? This chart, unrate is tomorrow. I wouldn't think the unemployment would spike above 4.1 too high tomorrow, but we'll see. We'll see. Now, if the unemployment rate drops, then we're unlikely to get cuts. If it goes to like 3.9, it just depends on what the number is and how the market reacts. I think it's difficult to try to front run what the number is going to be and act accordingly, but having a plan is helpful for sure. What's up, Ray? I agree, Cheech. We can talk about. I've got this list of. This is the EV list that I've been. A couple of these I've been trading. We're doing a hard left turn into China stonkery, but just as Ray hates China. Ray hates China. I'm not going to disagree. China's tough because it's hard to know what's real and not real. But with a lot of these China charts, I don't even know if EH might be South Korean. I'm not sure, but this chart looks great. What's wrong with EH? Chart looks great. If alts look like this, I'd say they looked great too. XPEV looks great. KWeb. KWeb looks okay, not great, but it's a thing. It's a trade. FXI. Let's take a look at that one. FXI looks okay. Not bad. CQQQ, which is the Chinese QQQ, similar. All these charts kind of look the same. Not bad. Not bad. So there's stuff to trade out there that looks better than alts. Absolutely. Some of this stuff, I mean, yeah, this is DOT. DOT is basically back to all-time lows. When is DOT's time? I don't know. Yeah, Rivian, another one on my list here. Rivian in a very large falling wedge-ish thing, multi-year. Yeah, I'll take a stab at this. Absolutely. Absolutely. EMQQ. Emerging Market Internet ETF. Yeah, it looks like KWeb, FXI, CQQQ. It had a year-long downtrend based for multiple years. Sure, why not? Cloud doesn't hate it. Looks decent. Looks decent. And contrast that with like ADA, right? ADA had a great move in November. Absolutely. 250%. This is why I was saying for weeks, what do people expect after a move like that? The issue with these alt charts is they happened all at the same time during the election. And if you missed any of them, you missed it, it's over. And if you wanted to rotate, the rotation never really happened. It was, there were limited places to put your capital all at once because everything happened all at once. It's not like you get multiple at bats here. It's just like, okay, if you're fully deployed for the election result or not. It just so happened that this also aligned very nicely on technicals with the breakout there. Is Javi here? I don't think Javi's in here. Whiff. You tell me. You tell me what you think about this chart. It is ugly. To bounce on any chart and then continue to sell off like that is Not pretty. It's not pretty. Yeah, Cheech knows what's up. Cheech knows what's up. I gotta put this in front of my face so that people don't yell at me in the comments. One thing I did want to talk about was the take profit stop loss order thing. So if you go to position, not positions, what are we looking for? We're looking for order form, limit. So down here in the order form box, if you wanted to limit, how would we even do this? How would we structure this on BTC here? The thing is, if you're trading, if you're wanting fills in the 80s, I don't even know where you'd put a stop loss on that. So maybe not the best example in the current case, but let's say we want like 85 as our, should be enough balance, right? I should have tested this before the stream. Should be enough balance there. Anyway, if you wanted to set the order, oh, because I'm selling, DAI greater than, this should work, cannot be greater than, I don't know, maybe I have no idea what I'm doing. I'll have to do this on a separate video. Anyway, the point is when you set a limit order, you can set your take profit and your stop loss at the same time, so you can just set it all on the book, ready to go. That's my point. Yes, I think meme coins are in trouble. People would rather trade the hot moving thing. They don't care about yesterday's news. Bonk, that's yesterday's news. Whiff, that's yesterday's news. For sure. Is there any other chart? Man, these look just ugly. Super ugly. If anybody's got anything for me to look at, let me know. This stuff looks real ugly. It's the only other hedge for short dollar TLT cash. Not sure what you mean. So yeah, alts, what are you looking for? You're looking for 2 more weeks of candles to be sure that this is some sort of bottom. But again, all this stuff like ETH BTC, last time I was down here, it took years to bottom. Years. So this absolutely could be a bottom, but you're going to be probably sitting in this for years to find out. So you probably want to wait on that. That's just me. You've got this gross channel. Again, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to push us lower quickly because we've wiped out so much leverage. But this was the last time we were down here. Here you go. 2019 to almost 2022. We also, is it like the 50-day is probably enough as well. The 50-day is still curling down. I don't know. It's just not for me. I'd rather play around in anywhere else than this. What can you buy? I mean, you can buy energy. You can buy TLT is an option. We can look at TLT. TLT, kind of in this no man's land where it hasn't quite made a new lower low yet, but it did make a new shoulder low. You've got this diagonal that it's sort of above, it's below the cloud. If you're bearish 10-year yield, 20-year yield, if you're bullish on Doge cleaning things up, you probably like TLT here. You basically have to be convinced that issuance is going to come down and or people are going to start buying TLT for whatever reason. So I like it better above the cloud. I'd rather wait on this, but yeah, doesn't look awful. It doesn't look great. I mean, you could go shy, you could go ag. HYG is high yield junk bond stuff. If you're not too concerned about liquidity and things blowing up, HYG also is typically bullish with BTC. So to see HYG looking like this isn't bearish. It's kind of our own little sector here in crypto land that things are not happy. Energy as in web token? No. Yeah, people are asking for a few things. Hype. We'll take a look. I thought it was on Kraken. Is it not? I thought it was on Kraken. That's not it. A hype is an ETF. European high yield corporate bond ESG Paris blah blah blah. That's a very long name. So I'll agree that it held up. Does this look like it's going anywhere anytime soon? I don't know. Not really. Not really. This is like the difference between, I don't know, this might be nuanced. I don't think it is, but you know, I'd rather see stuff curling up like EH versus Riot, where it's kind of just stuck. The charts are similar, for sure, but it's kind of just stuck at the moment, and most of the miners look atrocious. I thought Disney looked pretty good. We can take a look at that. Somebody asked about natural gas. Yeah. I don't know if it's a like right now trade, but to me, this is a better idea than TLT or alts. You may be sitting in this for a little while, waiting, depending on how you want to think about this. It's not above the cloud yet, but on the 2-day, it's trying. It's trying. This is the first time in 3 years it's been above the 2-day cloud. Sure. Why not? Baba, someone was asking. Yeah, Baba looks good. It's got like multiple attempts here, you know, like it tried back here. It actually had, it just keeps trying. So that's an Adam and Eve. Here's a shoulder, here's a head and shoulders. That broke down. Here's a new left shoulder of whatever this is. This is basically just K-Web, but it's trying. It's definitely trying to do something. Definitely. QD is also very similar, where it's like you can't deny this. This is there. I don't think it's going to be a fast mover, but it's there for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, Bob on the weekly. Isn't, what's his face? Michael Burry also just loaded to the gills on this thing? Sure, looks good. You know, it's probably not going to move quickly, but it looks good. Virtuals with pivot levels. Does that even have enough data to show pivot levels? I mean, this is a perfect cloud trade, right? If you catch it anywhere down here, the cloud is telling you to get out up here. You just have to be there. That's the problem. There's like, what, 10,000 alts? You just have to know where to be. And also, it didn't help that this moved with everything else, October, November. On the daily, this is not a bullish chart at all. This is almost ready to make a new low from 2 days ago. And the cloud is telling you, no, it was back here. If we rewind the clock, right there. This is why every time I see this on anything, never bullish. Never bullish. Ever, 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 ever. No, 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 no. On anything. Doesn't matter what it is, where it is, why it is. It's just not bullish. Add that to the snapshot. I was going to say something else. Add that to something you don't want to see if you're bullish. So that would have saved you all of this, right? It's not bullish here. I don't really care about pivots. We can pull them up, but if we go cancel, so it's losing. Is it a yearly pivot? Technically it's not. Didn't have a full year to make those pivots, but if we go monthly pivots, let's see what monthly looks like. I don't know. I mean, that's a level, 75 cents. I think the level that makes sense on the downside would be like here. I don't know. Not for me. Not for me. Not for me. Zcash. In-depth opinion of Tia. I mean, what is there to say? This is why you always, look, you don't have to use the cloud. I don't care what people use. It doesn't matter to me. It's not my money. For me, it's the cloud because what the path and what to do is never different. It's always the same. If we break out of a cloud for the first time in 8 months, 9 months, I know what to do. That's a buy. You hold it. You can use Williams fractals if you want. That told you to sell at 725, okay? But the moment we close below the cloud tells you, get the hell out of that thing. No questions asked. So let's say this here is the, okay, bye-bye, see you later, Tia. Nice knowing you. Even if you're long from 570 or anywhere higher. Doesn't matter. Every single time, nothing changes. It's always the same. So to see this below the cloud, all bets are off on the bear side, but this is not something that's bullish. I mean, this just had a multi-month consolidation, broke out, immediately gave it all back, and then went lower. That's not typically something you see that's bullish. I know, I'm watching the viewers just tick lower, right? Look, if I had good news, I'd share it. I just don't have good news. Yeah, we can look at the fractals for BTC. Just pull up this. So generally how this works, anytime you get a fractal, that's your trailing stop loss. If you get a new fractal, the trailing stop loss moves. The way I do it, it's both up and down. You have to get a close below the fractal to trigger the stop loss. So if we're just looking at this range, technically the first close below a fractal we've gotten was, I guess technically nothing. Technically nothing. Technically. We still haven't closed below a fractal. And this kind of makes sense based on the cloud too, right? Because we're still above the cloud. So we're still in bullish territory. And the fractals aren't really going to help you when we're ranging like this. And then to the top side, it's telling you anything above 106 would be go time. But even if we look at like the 8 hour, 6 hour, whatever for BTC, I don't know. Like this just doesn't look like a happy chart. Doesn't look like it's happy to be here. Doesn't look like it's happy to be here. But the fractals aren't too much help here. Aren't too much help. But the cloud, I think it was, what was it, 2 weeks ago or last week? Maybe 2 weeks ago. I was like, the tech is clear. This is super bearish. And then it bounced 15%, right? We did try to break down. Didn't. We tried. But again, why was I bearish? Bearish DK cross right there. We tried. We're trying to do something. It's just, there's just nothing there. There's nothing there. What's up, Michael? What else we got here? I'm gonna guess. What's up, Sean? I'm gonna guess B plus player is joking around. Is this coin on? It is on Kraken. It's only down 23% today, you know? It's only down 23% today. So, I don't know. Some people like to buy stuff that's on sale. Fart coin, not for me. Not for me. The wall art, Sean, is from some random guy years ago. I can't remember. I'd have to look it up. I'm sure you could just reproduce it though with AI, right? So Sailor's got 20 billion left, right? It's just a matter of timing and how quickly he's going to deploy that. Nipple, I talked about this in the open. Even if we move through the cloud on the daily, it's not over for the cycle. We've done that. We did that in 2017 several times. So I'm not concerned. Losing the 20 week at 86K would be not great, but we also did that earlier this year, or later in the year last year. But even having these conversations, it's like, is that conversation bullish? No, you know, is breaking down from a potential double top in the 80 region a bullish conversation? No, but I'm not worried about the cycle. It's just what happens at 80. What happens at 80? We'll see. Do I pay attention to the past levels of the Kijun? I do not, no. All right, what else? What else we got? Anything else chart-wise? Just reading chat. Catch up on the see how many bots we've got. AIOZ, CRM. Sure, let's take a look. I'm just going to assume that anything that's not a BTC chart looks worse than a BTC chart. The cloud tries to tell you, it tries to bail you out ahead of time. It tries to tell you, like, look, dear trader, when you get this, it's over. Get out. Every time. It's never different. It's never different. Ever. Okay, it doesn't have to be right 100% of the time, but it's trying to save you from this. And then when you're down here, not bullish territory, excuse me, not bullish territory, right? You also had this on several charts, head and shoulders thing, right? That measures to about here, and it's not stopping by the looks of it. So I don't know, what do we have left? We've got the previous range. Maybe it bounces and does something. It just, the way alts are trading, I don't know if you can see the side of my screen, but the way they are trading, my stuff didn't freeze, did it? No. The way they are trading alts look awful. Just awful. So I don't have hope on that front. We can look at Sol again, Ross, but I don't have anything else to say. I mean, it's just, it went from ranging almost the entirety of 2024 to having a move higher and then immediately starting to range again. I don't know. Like, here's Sol BTC. Does this look like a chart that's bullish? It ranged for literally all of 2024. It took a Trump UBI intervention, and then it's back to the bottom of the range again. I don't know. Look, if you're buying alts here, I'd just expect to sit in them for 3 to 6 months. But this is not bullish. Not bullish on the daily for Sol. I don't even know what I'd want to see. The problem is you've got all these people who have vested Sol coming unlocked, or people who are raising for something else who are selling. You've got just a ton of tokens coming online, and all of the meme coin stuff through Pump.Fun. You've got Pump.Fun selling Sol. So I don't know. What's like the fundamental reason for Sol to do well here? Unless liquidity jumps higher. Big Bear AI. Yeah. Now you're late on this, but I did see, was it Kramer talking? Somebody was talking about this. I think Kramer was saying it's not a buy or something, and of course it goes higher. But yeah, if you're able to identify this, we may have talked about this at some point on stream, I don't remember. That's why monkey see pattern, monkey trade pattern. That's me. I'm the monkey. Every time. Like, yeah, I'll trade this, right? I'll trade EH, QS, QD, whatever. A good Bitcoin short? We don't short Bitcoin. We don't short the most thermodynamically sound money that's ever existed. Yada. One thing you could do, if we really want to talk short trades, if we bring it up over here, you could say, if it closes in the cloud, I open a short with the bearish GK cross. Target being the other edge of the cloud. That's one way to do it. Maybe you take partial profit at any of those DCA levels I was talking about or whatever, but sure, why not? Why not? Why not? Goal sheet. For DCA BTC, would you increase your clip at 80? Seems like a lower risk area. Yeah, for sure. That's why I was saying in the open, like, here's the 200-day, here's the 20-week, here's the cloud. Just, pick your levels and go for it. I don't think that's incorrect whatsoever. XYO. Hold on. SCBTC? Is this? Let's scroll back. Let's continue. SCBTC. That's a new all-time low. Not so sure about that one. Not so sure about that one. XYO. I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm kind of talking a different language, you know. I would never touch this here, personally. But again, this is the problem. Everything moved at the exact same time, November. If you missed any of that in that period of time, that was it. So far, it's kind of gone nowhere. Some of these have continued. Ripple has had a few moves higher, a few legs higher. But otherwise, not much is going on. MSTR. How's MSTR look? MSTR on the pitchfork, like my old note there, consider long. Still the case. Still the case. I do have some MSTR from like 362. But if momentum slows down for BTC, MSTR is going to have trouble as well because it's a momentum driven instrument. So based on the daily cloud, is this a buy or a sell or a hold? It's not a buy, I'll tell you that. And the pitchfork tells you it likes lower. BITU, same deal. It's the same thing. BitX, same thing. Just not bullish charts. Coin, ugly. This is why it's important to have a framework and know when to swing and when to do nothing and wait for a better setup. PayPal gave a bunch back. XYZ is square block. I still think it looks fine. It's not going to go anywhere fast, but it looks fine to me. Hood looks a bit insane up here. Bear div on lower time frames. I'm seeing a lot of people talk about it, which tells me that the move's probably over. What's the chance we double bottom in alts today? I mean, look at, as they say, read the tape, right? How are alts looking today? Do alts look like they have a bid broadly at all? I mean, I don't see it. I don't see it. Tesla, yeah, we can like take a look at those. Tesla, Monday I tells you, we had a bearish to get across. Again, every single time, I know what to do. It's not hold on and hope for higher. Sell that sucker and get out of there every time. This might go higher tomorrow. It might go higher in a month. It might go higher in 6 months. It might go higher in a year. I don't care. If you're using a non-random edge that you've established and you know what you see when you see it, you got to listen to that stuff. So on Monday, I was saying this probably gets a bearish TK cross. There it is. It's lower. Again, what happens tomorrow, I don't really care. The point is if you're in this thing from 270 or lower, Cloud says get out. On top of that, it hit the multi-month IHS target, this thing. That's the target zone, 411 to 530. It certainly got there. So the trouble is like expecting more. People tend to be late to this stuff. They tend to add at the top and things like that. Maybe this plays out as a falling wedge, but this isn't a buy here either. Is the cycle over? I don't think so. I don't think the cycle is over. I think SPY is just consolidating. That chart to me looks fine. I don't see any issues here. It's not like screaming buy, but it looks okay. It looks okay. I don't know. This might be some sort of like, it's like a nested rising three methods or something. I don't know what the exact name of this is, but it's not bearish. It's not bearish. Streams usually 2 p.m. every Thursday, and there's tons of videos on my YouTube channel that you can pull up. Yeah, XYZ is formerly Square block. I just looked at it. Looks fine. It's based on BTC, and if BTC is neutral to bearish, it's not going to be bullish randomly. Is Tesla bullish? No, not in my opinion. Talked about that one. Let's just look at the Mag 7, then we get out of here. NVIDIA, neutral in the cloud. Don't really see anything there. Apple, neutral in the cloud. Nothing there. Microsoft like Solana. it's chopped around since 2024. I don't see a trade here. If you like trading ranges, maybe you trade the range, but it's not for me. Meta looks excellent, pushing all-time highs continuously, just like Netflix. The tough part is, where do you get in on these charts? Do you get in at the cloud, at the Kijun? There's also a channel here, like a multi-week channel. So at some point, this isn't going to hold and it's going to break down. So I don't know, you got to pick your battles here, but this chart's insane. It's gone from 200 to 1,000. Crazy. Amazon, I think, looks excellent on all time frames relative to everything else. Sitting there at all-time highs. I don't see any issues with that one. Google broke down, kind of a mess. Maybe not a trade here, but looks better than Tesla. I don't know. Tesla, like I said, bearish DK cross on the daily. Price in the cloud, not bullish. Lucid was another one with Rivian that I was sort of watching. I don't really see anything here today, but I think it's worth just keeping an eye on some of this stuff. If for whatever reason it has a bullish event, I think it's important in times like this to open the aperture to analysis of a bunch of stuff and see what you can see, because there's not much to do here broadly that I see across the board. Uber's traded inverse to Tesla. So if you're bearish Tesla, you should love Uber. The range here is nasty looking, but something else to consider and think about for the future. STLA was another one. Like this is automotive Chrysler. This is where you want alts to get to, and it took months of this range down here, right? This company might go bankrupt. It might go to zero. But if it starts to curl up, I'll take a shot. I'll take a shot at 13. But look how long it's chopped around, right? I don't look at this every day. I set an alert and forget about it. That's kind of what you have to do with alts. Pick your battles, But this lost 57% in a couple months in 2024. Not good. Not good. What's up, Lazar? Roblox. Roblox. Damn it. It's down at some point 30% today. Hilarious. Just another reason when you start to hit those take profit levels on the measured moves, Tesla the same. People love to get greedy up here and say, oh man, we're going to keep going. But that's not a great candle for Roblox today. All right, I think that's all I got for today. Like I said, I wish I had setups to share better news. Sometimes there's just nothing out there. Nothing out there. I'd watch for a close in the daily cloud, and alts look like they're just gonna chop down for a minute here in Q1. That's all I got for this one. Have a good weekend. And we'll talk on Sunday. Take care.